Live.
Pressing live now.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know if everybody will be in the live now in YouTube, but welcome to, yes, he's starting also. I am with the other computer in YouTube. So welcome everybody to the Lab 3 sharing. Hi, hello, Luke. Hello. The idea, we have been working in this lab in the scenes of the Born by the River. We have been working in the choosing the characters and developing the scenes. So we will be seeing today a part of the production of these days. Some other part of the production we will be presenting the next Thursday, 3 of June, I think, in the production news moment, Zoom. So you can see one part today and the other part next Thursday. If you want to comment anything on the chat, on the YouTube chat, you can do it because we will be reading also this. Hello, Kat.
Hello.
So I think we can start now, if it's okay for everybody. So the idea is we will start with the Act 1, Scene 1.
Yeah, I've been working on that scene. I've created a small video of a shadow piece about the two children playing on Liverpool streets. Of course, I was only alone, so it's a draft. And if I can ask Alexis to share screen and show this video from it's in the Boot Lab 3 and in the folder that is called Scene 2.
Okay, I'm going to share screen now for you.
Oh, sorry, maybe I explained it bad. So in the Boot Lab 3, there is a folder that is called Scene 2, Sirens, yeah. And there is the first scene.
Whoa,
So,
thank you.
I don't know if you could hear the music, but I recorded with the farewell song. So I think that's the opening of the piece. And yeah,
You can hear it with the music. Should we play it again and listen to it with the music? Because I needed to
Maybe.
take my mute
Yeah.
off. Okay, let's just do that again. I apologize. I heard it with the music. It was marvelous. Let's watch it one more time. And better the second time round.
so yeah, it is a scene with two children, so there could be more interaction and maybe more use of props. But this is how it would look like, maybe the shadow ideas with this music.
It's very wonderful. It is very wonderful without music and wonderful with the music. And also, I love shadow because you can see a lot of things. Because you see the children, and in a moment, the two children became a big play together and became a big bird that fly and follow the dream. It's really very nice to see.
Yes, just for the others that are not seeing all the developments of the lab, I will just read what we have been working with kind of the scripts, and then each scene, each participant of the lab has written what he has in mind for this scene, and then each one has choose a scene and develop. I just wanna read what the narrator says in the script. That it's because it's very powerful also with this video. She was always like that. She had that wanderlust, fearless, reckless, some would say. She was born by the river. It was in her blood. When I'm old enough, I'm going to the sea, she would say.
Wonderful.
And here also, just for the record and for the story, the puppets, not the the puppet, the boat, the paper boat puppet, it was an idea from the labs before that we have rescued, and it's with us from the beginning. So it was an image that more of participants love it. So thank you. It's really interesting, really nice. Always with just nothing, you create great things. So thank you.
Yeah, for me, it just filled my heart. It was beautiful. You really got that sense of children playing, and it just felt magical and beautiful, and it made my heart feel very happy. So it was really beautiful. Has anyone else got any comments to add?
I just say I could spy it a bit beforehand because it was the same folder, but it's really amazing. I just really like how you make the paper boats to be alive and like just like equal for human body. I really liked it. It was wonderful.
I feel the same. I thought it was gorgeous, especially with music. When it came on with the music, it was 10 times even better for me. It just was very clever.
I like that you tell a story, as a very clear story with only with black with light. So it's a black and white landscape, and everything you need to tell is in the story. So it's the best that can happen. You don't need a lot of props or things, but still you get the story. I like it very much.
I think it's also confirming that shadow puppetry is a really strong way forward for this piece. It was so powerful. So it's a definite aesthetic that we need to put in for sure. You've just confirmed that.
Sorry, we have changed the place so we can be more nice in the video. Sorry.
I thought you were just doing shadow puppetry.
Yes.
We're just sticking with the theme.
Yes, we are always working. So we can continue with the second scene. Maybe we can the one that presents the scene maybe could make a little introduction to the scene and what's the idea of the scene. So because we know it because we have been working the 3 days and the 3 labs. But maybe if someone is looking for the first time, it's more difficult. So if when we go to your scene or your presentation, please do a little or a big presentation or whatever you want. So if we want to continue, we pass to the second one, that is with Cats and Danielle, the scene 2, childhood, the bar.
So unfortunately, I don't think Danielle could make it because her Wi-Fi is cut out. So it's just me. So this scene, Aggie and her friend Queenie have just come across a bar with lots of sailors in, and they're really excited, and they're staring through the window watching the sailors like dancing, and then they run home because their dad's back after that. That's pretty much the whole scene. And Danielle has made like a kind of mood board of like what we want to incorporate in the scene. I think it's you got it up by accident before. It's on the BotLab folder. Yeah. So we have the idea of having this table and chairs as like in the middle to be kind of like set the scene of being in a bar, and we thought that the dancers could use these chairs and the table as a prop. They could like jump up onto them, kind of incorporate them in the choreography, which would be really cool and very like musical theatre as well. And we the choreography would have to be performed really really overly exaggerated and drunk, and like portray them as if they're really happy, they're having the best time. And I think this piece would work well with quite a few dancers. So if I say minimum five dancers, and we'll be using the tankards as like a prop, and they'll be dancing with those. And I'd also think if in the costume, if some are going to have like hats on, I'd like to incorporate that in the dance as well, like movements with the hats. And we love the idea of having the spotlight on mainly based on Aggie, so that it shows her friend too, it shows Queenie too, but it's mainly on Aggie and in the window. And we also love the idea of maybe having a few kind of maybe the idea of the dream-like silhouettes, where she's kind of like imagining these kind of shadows of like a boat maybe in the background would be really, really lovely and effective. If we could put that in as well somewhere, because it would show that she's kind of like, it's making her imagination go quite like wild. And we would if we have Aggie and Queenie doing a bit of dance, it would be nice if some of the movements could be like symmetrical to each other, and it look quite nice on stage, I think. So that's it for the kind of the mood board. And I did make up some choreography. It's a bit messy, but it should be in the character development drive, I think. Yeah, there should be a video in there if you want to watch it. It's just a basic to kind of give an idea of maybe like kind of the movements to the song.
You're going to have to tell me where it is.
I think if you go to Bot Lab 3 and I remember it being put into something called character.
There's the scene 2 sirens.
I think there was other videos in this.
Well, maybe
put it in.
We have a look here. Is it in here?
No, I don't see it in there. Do you want me to go and have a double check?
Yeah, maybe what we could do is we could feed back, and then we can come back to it and find where it is. That would be great.
Okay.
So what would be really nice is to hear people's feedback in terms of Kat and Danielle's ideas. Luke, maybe you could start, because we've got the dance elements there that Kat's talking about.
Yeah, I think the bar scene would look brilliant with the dramatic effects, with the table, the chairs, the tankards, because it does give off a really pub vibe, which wouldn't be so clean and crisp choreography, because
yeah,
like perfect, ready to dance. They're just drunk, merry, having fun, but obviously still choreographed. But yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. I think there's a lot of things to work with in that scene. Amazing.
I think it's also an interesting thing, the idea that you have thinking just from the beginning, the idea of using also the tables, the chairs, the big cups, like not just dance, but dance with all the things that we have in that bar, because we are in a bar.
And you dance with the object and in the relation with the structure and the scenography. It is a scenography, but also is a part of your dance. Is good. Thank you.
I'd like to see your tanker. It would be very nice because it's a very big beer tanker. Have you got it with you, Kat?
It's downstairs. I use it in the video. If I can find where I put this video.
Turn up. Yeah, well, that's to be continued. Kat, if you have a little look for it, and we'll come back.
Or if you remember the name of the file, you can search by the name.
I don't think I gave it a name. I think it came up as IMG something. So I'll have to double check.
Yeah, do a little search. It'll be somewhere. If it downloaded onto it, it'll be on there somewhere. I'll have a look while people are sort of talking. I'll see if it's gone into another folder somewhere. Google Drives, they're very loosey.
Yes, it's not easy to get used to Google Drive. I still have a lot of problems. So yes, when you find it, we can see, and we can pass to the third presentation, Saffron and Tia. It was the scene of childhood, the family home.
Yes, it was the scene where the father is coming back home and bringing some presents, but also telling the story of seas. And this exact moment is a bit later. It's when they tell about sirens and all the danger of the sea. But Aggie is seeing it in more exciting way. So there is this kind of moment where parents are seeing different things, like more danger and shadows, but Aggie is seeing it more exciting and like sparkling and having this moment of like, I really want to go there. So we cooperate with Saffron, and there is 2 videos, or I don't know.
I think you can share first the video itself, your work, and then we show how it looked like with my dance.
Yes, there is quite many videos. So we can first, maybe we watch the Pride one, because that is what we used also. So it's that. Yes, exactly that one.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Then there are 2 more videos where we what we would like to show also.
Dark?
It's the tails at the family. And I would like to show both of them because Safa made two different approaches.
Wow.
So just a quick explanation. We wanted to try out, of course, with the person that we can actually see. And so for that, I only found a very white dress because with the other colors, of course, they are darker. So this wedding dress was not my size, so it's really small. It was completely open in my back, and so I couldn't really move with it. And it's kind of ridiculous, but I think it's really nice how it's reflecting on it. So yeah, but it seems for the moment like a drunk bride or something. And the other one, I think the other one is more mysterious, and it's, for example, the paper boats can be seen better. It's more exact. So I would vote definitely for the second one.
Yes, and then we were also thinking about like these are to give ideas, so we don't know yet exactly where it would be reflected, but just to give the idea where it could be. And yeah, and there is also a darker version of this that was my favorite, but yeah, we have to see how they will work out on the surface.
I have to admit that yesterday I liked the dark one more, but now I'm very for this brighter video, because I really got the feeling that you want to touch this water and you want to go to this orange light because it's so warm, and so it's very like sirens. This really works like sirens and want to drown you in this video. And I agree with Saffron that the third video, because it can tell more about the tales the parents are talking to Aggie, and maybe that this can be a contrast again with this beautiful video and the story that don't work out very good for the ships, for example, or something like that. And I think you acted like a very good, that you want to achieve these things you saw in this video and to want to go in there, but you don't find the relief. I really liked it. So
Very
Okay.
amazing.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Come.
Emma, please go first.
Thank you. Very amazing co-production. The two really is very good, the work that we make together. And also, when you stay with the white dress, I don't see that is very small. It is really wonderful, the scene. And you are like a pearl in the sea. And it's interesting to see this movement. I don't know if Hamlet you can move, but I don't see this. I see a pearl that move in the sea. And it's really wonderful. And also the color that use the two. There is in a moment a violet, very, very wonderful. It's very nice. Thank you a lot.
I find the three videos really amazing. They have completely different meanings, so it's not a either or for me. You can use them in different settings, and the great thing is, even with the shadow theater, they work together and they show somehow an inner world as well. And when I watched the video, the first one, just the video work, I saw completely different things than yesterday. So I recognized some interesting figures, and it's really amazing. So it's not like just take one. It's more the question, when do you use these kind of videos, and what do you want to show? Really great. Yeah, really great.
Yes, in the first video there, yes, I also love a blue one and a yellow image that they were really like a color explosion, and it's very nice and interesting changes of the colors, and then they appear. It's, yes, and it's you can tell a lot of stories, and you can tell nice stories and horror stories, and you can tell the different things also if the brighter images and colors, and the darker, and also you, Saffron, if you are if we can see you, or we can see you just in spirits or a ghost or the shadow. It's yes, it's really. I also think it's not necessarily we need to choose one, but maybe just choose when one and when the other. It's yes, it's nice also the synergy when you work together and you can create interesting things. So great.
I think both of them were absolutely beautiful, to be honest. And I couldn't, like what most people have just said, I couldn't pick which one would be better. And it has just clicked into my head that there is a reprise of the Siren song. So I think it would be amazing if you had one version for one of the songs and then the other version for the other song. I'm not sure if it's going to be exactly the same, but if they're different, it should give you more of an interpretation of which one you could pick for each. But I think what you have done is amazing.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to say anything? Okay. Have you found your video cut? No.
Sorry, my phone went really weird and it completely went shut off. So I'm gonna have to look again.
Okay. If not, if you want to do some live performance, you can do it. we saw that they were very nice. So it's up to you. If you don't find the file and you want to do a short presentation of live performance, you can do it.
I'll try and find the video.
Yes. Okay. We can wait you. No problem. We go forward. We have some scenes that we will see the next Thursday. So we go directly to Luke and Chris. I think Act 5, Quayside in a New Land.
Do you want me to speak first, Chris, or do you want to speak? Okay. So what we worked on yesterday was a lot of figuring out what would be actually what this scene was actually be, because we then come to an agreement that it would be, because it's a really fun scene. It's when Aggie first sees the John Henry and his crew, which are all having a fun time, dancing around. So we decided that we were going to have like a fun dance piece, possibly all boys, and have circus performance as well, with big balls, like throwing them around. But we can't do that now, so we've basically started from scratch this morning again. So what we've worked on really is we just decided it was going to be a pure fun dance piece, and the easiest way to do that would just be to choreograph for it. So we worked mainly on the battle scene that we also worked on together today. I have got footage. Mine does show some of this scene, the quayside, and it does also show some of the next scene too. So I can show my footage now, but it will be for the other scene also that we worked on. Really, this video just goes through different inspirations that you could have throughout the performance. It separates the two separate ships as well for the battle scene, how they can look different, how they would dance different. And it also has a few different intels on other scenes as well, just to connect characters for the battle scene, because obviously it's one of the bigger scenes in the show and there's a lot going on. So I just wanted to clarify how you could make it still look clean and understand what was going on at the same time as it being very chaotic and a battle.
We're getting out. satisfy your wanderlust and navigate by stars above. Don't wait for me. Go sailing silence. Sail on the road.
So basically, really, it's just like a moving mood board. It's just inspiration that you could take from other things. I had a lot more footage, I just didn't have enough time to put it all together. So a lot of it is off quite similar musicals or films. But yeah, I thought that was the easiest way to work it at the moment, until we can actually like go down to do actual choreo and start setting things.
Great. It's fantastic. It is all the show is really very good and fantastic choreography. I love a lot. And I see the scene of the battle. I think in really the puppet that make the battle with the pirates. It's very interesting. And when now we see the dancers and with the armature and the dancer without is very good. It's interesting. Yes, I think in the dancer with the big head that we have, and the dancer without this. Nice. Thank you a lot.
Has anyone else got any comments to add in terms of that? Any sort of additions? Any? I mean,
maybe just about the circus things that I have seen now in the round, the ring, these women. I was thinking that if Aggie appears in one of those, then it's again kind of a frame. And in the beginning, she appears in a frame, and then she would appear in another kind of frame. So it's kind of this breaking away and finding freedom. It can be emphasized by all these frames, whatever form they have.
You could also have a not circular. It could also do a square.
And that's, I imagine, a dancer in the water ball. Do you know the circus, the contortionists that go? And I think that as a dancer with, I see a wonderful costume in Gothenburg, Libertalia, that Ruta make. And I think with this costume that go in the water ball. Amazing.
Chris, do you want to add anything to the scene?
Yes, I want to add something. So today I was quite disappointed at first because the entry requirements from the UK back to Austria, they changed. So I would have to go to in a 10 days quarantine, and that's not possible for me. So I can't be part of the performance. So that's one of the reasons why we cut out the big ball parts in this first section with the heading out song. And the second thing in this scene is the escape song, where we first thought we could make the unicycle act. So as I'm not the Captain Bonello, then we don't have a solution at the moment. So that's one thing that we have to figure out later on. But now, as we decided that this part is a dance scene, it becomes clear, and Luke has a lot of ideas for the choreography, as you've seen before. So it's one of the big things, and therefore we concentrated on the battle scene. And besides the things Luke showed before, I also tried to structure the song for the battle scene, and we show that one later on. So.
And what's really lovely as well is we can see the vision. We can see the vision to have, the stage filled with movement, and you can start to see how Luke's choreographic brain is working, how he's joining everything together. So it's very exciting. I love the frame idea as well, like you say, Saffron, having that as a square frame, then a circular frame, which can be like the wheel. That's going to be really quite a nice thing to do. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Anyone else want to add anything? Big. When we say go big, we're going big. Big dance. Yay.
Big. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Next scene, it was a big scene. It was Act 2, Scene 6. It was very big, and nobody wanted it at the beginning, but then they arrived. So please, Saffron and Julia, if you want to talk a little bit about your work, it's your moment. Thank you.
Yes,
Tricky
we would like to talk, to walk away.
No, you didn't. That's the point. It's very impressive.
Yes, maybe we can tell something about what happened before, because Aggie was on Bonello's ship and discovered that it's a slavery ship and decides to run away, and she joins John Henry's crew. And now she's getting to know John Henry a bit better. And so yesterday there was a totally new thing added by Alexis, and I have to admit that I can't deal with it very good with this new scene in it. And talking with Saffron, we changed the place of the scene, because where you put it, it doesn't fit with the narrator text. So we put it at the beginning of Scene 6 for the moment, without knowing what's going really to happen, because it's a backlash in John Henry's life. And so we don't know if it's good there. But we are working with the scenes we had before, and there was the Woo scene with the song "Shake Off Your Day," and this song, well, there were many discussions about the song and the scene. So we now have, we suggest a solution for the scene, also dancing scene, which might be working like a one-on-one breakdance battle without break dance, but using hip hop elements, because in hip hop the movements between men and women are very equal. They can do all those same movements, and so in a battle you're showing off, and you show the audience what you can do, and you want to impress the others. So we might think that this is a way to express what's going on between these two. And so we imagine that this song starts, and with the song, John Henry starts to move and dance around Aggie like a solar system, dancing around her, and it's like showing off that how cool his moves are to impress her. It's very like a very stupid flirting attack, but Aggie watches him very calm and is not very impressed. Maybe she thinks like what he's doing there. And then she starts to move slowly by herself. And maybe there's a brief moment when they dance together, but only shortly, because we would like to Aggie to show up herself in a dance and takes control over the scene. And Aggie takes the place of John Henry, dancing around him. And so that John Henry is very embarrassed by this flirting attack, that it went so wrong. So when, after he lost this flirting game, this whole scene freezes, and the narrator tells John Henry's story and background story. And during the narrator's speech, slow motion begins and John Henry leaves the scene. And because, as I mentioned before, because this narrator text is very connected with the scene before, because it's like, look, I know he comes across like a bit of coconut, so look how stupid he reacts. But John Henry is more than this, so we know his background story. So maybe someone will take part. Yesterday you did this part. Do you want to?
Yeah, so then the next scene shows that Aggie starts to live her dream. Aggie is on her own now, but the crew is joining her. They celebrate her dream in singing and dancing. We want to use the lift machine to express the elevation and the feeling of freedom, because hopefully we will access a lifting machine. Yes, and then John Henry and Aggie become a team. So Aggie is in the air. The crew is performing with her. John Henry returns, still embarrassed, in case John Henry is absent from the previous scene. Aggie reaches the floor again and invites John Henry to dance with them along a community of freedom. They are dancing now in a team for the same aims, and they are equal. And then the narrator speaks a little bit. And then we go to the freed slaves. And here we had a kind of a dilemma, because we were thinking that maybe the freed slave story could happen in the Bonello ship, because that's the slave ship. And when the crew and Bonello welcomes Aggie on the ship, and they are telling the story of the slaves. So maybe it can happen at an earlier stage, but this is just an option.
Yes, and it's mentioned in the scene 4 with a sentence that there is something about slaves. So it depends how you work it out in scene 4, and maybe that's the right place to tell the whole story.
Oh yeah, and because the lyrics of the Bonello song, that is the Starlight, it's talking about Bonello choosing this path of darkness that is the slavery, and that he cannot see a future in Aggie's eyes or through Aggie's eyes. And maybe because of this, him mentioning this dark path, it could match well to show the images of the slave story.
Yes, maybe some words how we imagine it, as we talked yesterday, like also a moving shadow theater. And I put here some videos for inspiration, but I don't want to show it because it's a bit historic and they use the comic style. So it's very abstract how they show the slaveries in the ships. So it might work in this scene, if here or in scene 4. And then the narrator tells that now Bonello is coming and interrupts the scene. And so it's a decision if you want to come from this living dream to this interruption of Bonello. It's more crossing this way of a good life, you know. So maybe this can work out too. If you if you change directly from "Don't Wait for Me" to the next scene, and you can tell the story of the slaves in scene 4. So do you want to add something?
Maybe one thing about the titles. It was Tia's idea that maybe in some moments when information is missing, we could project her videos that have some words or expressions, and we could express some ideas or key words to the spectators through those projections and videos. And maybe the dramaturgy group can at some point think about those information that is needed for the audience.
I stop sharing now.
Great work. Excellent. Really, you work a lot.
You are like doctors, or like going inside and separate what is good and what is not so good, and like mechanics, and put together. And it's also an interesting strategy to use also the projections also as a narrator. It could help us to help the storytelling. It's an interesting thing.
It's a way of kind of unifying the aesthetic, isn't it? So that we know that the projection is for the narration, and you know, live performance is other. And I do. I mean, like would talk to Brian in terms of moving it to scene 4. We'll have a look at that. It might be a solution because we know scene 6 is big. It's really big. It's almost as big as Luke's choreography. Almost as big, and so yeah, it might be a way of sort of containing the beast. It probably is a really good solution. We'll have a look at that, but I think that's, yeah, I've written it down. I like the idea of it looking through the eyes, and the idea of the eyes, window of the soul, and connecting to memory. I think that's a lovely idea, especially if we're then connecting it with that circular image that Luke put in, where we had an artist in the hoop. So yeah, very. You can start to see things coming together. Would anyone else like to share feedback?
It was really great job that you made. And I remember there was some suggestions for video work in this freed slaves section, but on that moment it was really, I couldn't touch it because I didn't really get it because it was new, but you made now a lot of sense out of it. So this was really good work, and now it can be work further otherwise also. And I see I'm completely dark, I'm disappearing soon.
The shadow puppetry continues. in art and life.
We have also a message in the YouTube channel. Maria Saveria Martelone says, "Buona sera, buon lavoro." It's her mother. That he says, seeing the YouTube, it's "Buona sera," good afternoon, and good work. Kat, if you don't find your video, you can do the sharing the next Thursday with the others.
It should be called Drunken Sailor, if someone can find it. I'm still getting used to the Google Drive. Sorry.
No problem.
No, it's okay. No problem.
We see if anyone can find it. If not, we will see the
next
Thursday.
Yes.
But maybe with the name we can find it. I am also
We try.
It's yes, with the other computer, but I don't know if we will find it. Drunken Sailor,
yes.
I think I
Yes.
find it. Yes, it's here. But I don't know how.
We can send the link, yeah.
Yes.
Where did you find it? I couldn't find it.
I write Drunken Sailor. If you write Drunken Sailor, you find it.
Yeah.
You would write. But
No, I've done that. Tell me which folder it's in, and I'll dig it out.
I tell you, or I just wait. I don't know how to see this.
We can copy and
can
paste.
we-
It's character development. BotLab
Yeah.
2.
That,
BotLab
you.
2
BotLab 2.
character development.
Yay, well done. Okay, I got it. Drunken Sailor. Let's watch it. What shall we do with the Drunken Sailor?
before we watch it, some bits will look a bit odd because in my head there's other people dancing with me, and there's people like linking my arms when I'm skipping around. But I also did a partner work section, but I didn't put that in this video because it didn't make any sense doing it on my own. It looks silly. So but I've got an idea of that anyway. So this is just kind of like an idea of like some movement.
Fantastic. I love it. Okay, let's have a look at the Drunken Sailor then. I like the end, especially when you're like, should I do more? No, I'm going to stop. That's great. Would anyone like to share on that?
I love it. It's amazing. I see in the other day Also, it is very wonderful. I like a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to get an idea how the movement could work out. And now, Kate, we know how you dance when you are drunk.
I just wanted to say, like, I wish I would move like that when I'm drunk. It was really great.
We need to try. We need to try to get drunk and try to dance like this.
I really liked it. I thought you looked like you were having a good time, and that is the whole point, really. And it gave off the right vibe of what we're trying to set for a pub scene. So yeah, as long as wow. The biggest part of it is that you look like you're enjoying yourself, really, because that's what the whole scene is about. And you did. So amazing.
Yeah, it's exactly, Luke. It's exactly, you took what was in my head. It got the vibe and it made you laugh and it made you happy. And like you got a real connection as an audience that, you know, that there's loads of energy in that. Love it. You imagine 20 people doing that with tankards.
We have, I think, just I don't know if Luke and Chris, do you want to talk about the Act 2, Scene 6 on board John Henry's ship?
Yes, we want to do that. We called it the battle scene, and we discussed what could the set design be and what's the most important things. And one of our first ideas was that we have to use some kind of different levels, and that the main part of the set is the Buccaneers ship. So the others are kind of intruding the ship. So we didn't want to show the two ships that fight against each other. That were our thoughts in the beginning. Maybe Luke, you wanna add something at the moment?
Yeah, so we did just look at the set design this morning, and when we clicked on this scene, most of the pictures were two separate ships or that kind of vibe anyway. And we didn't want it to look like that they were driving towards each other to fight, because that's not the intent of the scene. It is that it's an invasion more so than a battle. So we thought if the set was on the Buccaneers ship, they would just be doing the daily routine on the ship, and when the music starts for the Colossus ship, to run in from the audience from the side, from the back, and start invading the Buccaneers, because really they wasn't looking for it. So I think it would give off more of the feel of invasion more so than battle. If it was just set on one ship and it showed that the Buccaneers really wasn't trying to cause trouble. And then all the HSR Colossus or something, I think it is, all of their crew to possibly even run through the audience and run from side stage and back of stage, to add effect as well from a spectator point of view. But other than that, the set we think works better like that. And if there was like maybe two ropes either side of the stage that can be swung on, so it looks like it was being swung onto the ship or swung off the ship, it'd give also more of a dramatic effect, as it is a very dramatic scene.
You transferred those two ropes to me as you were talking. I saw them before you said it. I was starting to think we need a rig.
Yeah, I think it would definitely add to it, like we said, with the levels too. The set design for the Buccaneers ship looks, let me see, I don't have it open at the moment. At the back of the stage there was steps, and then there was a bit of like a raised stage with a wheel. We feel like if the battle scene had that as well, it'd give different dynamics of battle instead of it just being one level. It would also add to it. And we said choreographically wise, there should be different aspects. And when we read through it, Saffron's idea of still moments as well, there's parts of the music that change quite a lot throughout this song. So if there was a lot of chaos in certain scenes, and then when the music dies down slowly, the slow motion pairs on spotlights on each other, or even still movement would also add to this scene instead of it just being like rah, because I think it would then be too much for too long if it has little breaks throughout. But yeah, that's what we've really done.
Yeah. And we used another idea where we went a little bit deeper. That was we took a look at the music, so we went a little bit deeper, and we saw that the music starts very slow, and we had another idea, so we could use two dancing groups. The first one are the people on the Buccaneers ship. Starts very slowly, like the waves are coming. They're preparing for war, and you could slowly change the people on the stage, and there are these soldiers that are also preparing for the battle. And in the middle of the song, or in the second part of the song, there is more energy, and there's this messy battle scene, and at the end there is a slow part in the music. You could see the injured Aggie, and it's a slow dancing scenes with the people where the music ends. And we tried to find some video footage, and so we created a short video, and we want to show you that. I'll share it. So.
What does anyone know? How can anyone grow? World and creed united, and it needed to be take the
some inspirationality, and the focus was on analyzing the music and structuring what could happen.
We are not hearing you so loud. Sorry, Chris. Maybe.
Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?
No.
I can hear you fine.
All right. I don't
No,
know.
we can't hear you fine. Sorry, maybe it's just us.
No, I just said we were analyzing the music and tried to structure it and see what could happen at what stage of the music.
I think there's absolutely fantastic choreographic elements in that. It's very it's very structural. I can see the structures coming in where you've got sort of the lines of the people that look like the waves through to the sticks and bringing in the martial art elements. I think really, I can really see it's creating the shapes with the bodies. It's really, really good. It's really powerful. Yeah.
Honestly, to try and find videos of choreography for a dance battle was the hardest thing ever. Somehow, it really was. It was all very like basic, stereotypical what you'd usually see. And then to try and find pirates doing something similar, it was nearly impossible.
But I that that the structure of the choreography, the shapes that you're going to create, there's like almost abstract forms that created with the choreography. Beautiful, love it, really love it. I can really see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, sorry. I am gonna read a message from YouTube. I think he's in the moment of reading points. Face for Radio LTD. I don't know who he is, but I think he's one of us.
Callum, Face for Radio's Callum. Hello, Callum.
Hello, Callum. Thank you. I am reading your message. We can definitely hang ropes off the stage, but I doubt people would actually be able to swing. They could just jump while holding the ropes, and I think that still convey the idea.
Thank you, Callum. That's great.
Thank you a lot.
Put a face for
Yes.
her.
Thank you. And that's very nice, the choreography, that it is interesting. I love when there are a lot of people in scene, if it is possible, because there is a unique body that move the scene. And I see also this in this video. It is very, very nice, very good. I love.
Anyone else from for this last or for any other scene that you want to add? Anything? Maybe I want to add. I think we need to add and in the scenes and the work, but maybe it's just because we have chosen the other scenes, the scarf, that it will be also a protagonist of the whole story. So don't forget the scarf.
I think that when we close this Zoom, we close, and the idea is to think in the scarf for the next time.
Yes, size, colors,
yes.
Materials, whatever you want, but yes, we don't, we can't forget it. The other things, I think we have been really good in taking all of the inputs and the things that everybody has said during the labs. The windows, the shadows, the puppets, the boats. So it's yes, you are doing a great job. the dance, the choreography. It's
Oh, yes.
yes, it's
The co-production, the
yes.
work all together, the synergy is very nice.
And this is just the part one of the sharing, because we will have the other presenting the next Thursday. So if everybody can come to the Thursday meeting, it's good. I think it's 7:30 CET time. So move it one or one, depending on which place you are. Yes, for us, just thank you. I don't know if Alexis or any other of you want to say anything.
We are very happy also to join and work with all of you. And we hope and we think if you can see in live in England.
In a moment, we will
Yes.
meet you all.
Yes.
If it's now. If not, it will be for the next time. But
Yes.
it's we can set, because we have a pass with this with the other group of Libertalia. It's really nice when you finally got to meet the other people in the real world, because you you feel that you know a lot, but you have never seen, and then you see that maybe it's tall, maybe it's short. It's strange, but it's a really nice situation. You meet people that you already meet now, so it's.
And we hope to see you very soon, all of you, really.
Yeah, and if it's not in Bootle, we'll make sure that it happens in Turku. So, you know, it doesn't just end here for the people who are, you know, struggling because of the quarantine issues. This project is a 3-year project, so we're gonna continue working together. So it's not the end for the people who can't travel across at all. This continues, and we're just at the beginning of the process of co-creation together. So yeah, on that, I think what we can do is we can say goodbye to the YouTubers, and maybe we can just hold on for 2 more seconds just as a group, just to say our goodbyes. So I'll just hit the end to the YouTubers and say thank you everybody for watching, especially Callum for sending his comments